Germany has decided to spend $3 billion incentivizing the purchase of electric cars, which is kind of a surprise to me personally. $3 billion, considering these are going to be affordable EVs. German car brands, Audi, BMW, Porsche, even really, to be honest, Volkswagen Group cars, Mercedes, most of them are not really very affordable. In fact, more than 90% of them are not. So it seems like the German government is almost incentivizing the purchase of EVs not made by German car companies, which, if true, and let's look at the actual information here from the government, if true though, it seems like it's kind of a very challenging thing right now, considering 50,000 jobs were lost this year in the automotive industry. 50,000. That's information that has come straight from the German government. 50,000. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Germany has agreed to spend 3 billion, so that's euros. That's what, nearly 3.5 billion US dollars, about 5 billion Australian dollars on making electric cars affordable for people who aren't rich, essentially. So $5.3 billion in Australian is being spent on low and middle income groups. Essentially, Germany is saying, well, we want people driving EVs. The scheme includes purchase and leasing support and will open up the electric vehicle market for all, said the Vice Chancellor and Finance Minister Lars Klingbeil at a press conference in Berlin yesterday. Sales of electric cars in Germany lag well behind earlier government plans to bring the number of EVs on the road to 15 million by 2030. So they're a fair way behind that. But that said, electric car sales have drastically increased in Germany this year. They're up to about 30%. So that's a pretty good percentage. However, an abrupt stop to the incentives for EVs in late 2023, that led to a decrease in EV sales. And it took about 1.5 years to really recover back to their previous figures after that cancellation of EV incentives. The high average price of electric cars in Germany is a major obstacle to mass adoption, says The Driven, which, to be honest, they're so far mainly purchased by wealthier people and by, companies who lease them quite often. But the truth is, electric cars are actually, on average, quite expensive in Germany. Definitely more expensive than Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, America. EVs are actually cheaper, quite a bit cheaper in the United States than they are in Germany. And part of the reason why is because cars are quite expensive to manufacture in Germany. The Volkswagen Group just said that it costs them twice as much to make an EV in Germany than what it costs them to make one in China. Double. They literally said the price was double. That's a big difference. So parties in politics in Germany have agreed to this scheme. It'll be financed through Germany's Climate and Transformation Fund in principle in October. And Klingbeil's Social Democrats, the SPD, and the Christian Democrats, the CDU, of Chancellor Friedrich Merz finalized the scheme in the same exact meeting, weakening of Europe's planned end to new combustion engine vehicle registrations in 2035. They are saying, we do not want to ban internal combustion engines in 2035, which is 9 years from now. Germany thinks it's not, particularly the German car industry, thinks it's not in a position to sell only electric cars in 2035, which I can't personally understand why. Why 9 years isn't enough for it to happen. If Norway's there already, why can Germany not do it in 9 years from now? Bavaria's State Premier Markus Söder, who heads the CDU's sister party Christian Social Union, said the premium for electric vehicle buyers will amount to 5,000 euros per car and would also include plug-in hybrids. So you can get up to a 5,000 euro discount. A focus will be to support local cars and not cars imported from outside of Europe, Söder added. So the scheme will apparently incentivize the purchase of 600,000 EVs. But interestingly, this kind of does mean that Germany is sponsoring the purchase of cars made in Places like Slovakia, Poland, Hungary, Austria, places where it's cheaper to make cars than what it is in Germany. Now, France as well, French cars, there's quite a few affordable French cars. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see the German government just decide to spend such a very large sum of money. And I agree with this, I think it's fantastic. But it is an interesting political decision to make. New agency data cited figures basically from the government's information that set the limit for household incomes eligible for support at 80,000 euros annually and an additional 5,000 euros per child. So basically, if you make more than 80,000 euros at home, then you don't qualify. So I suggest move out, separate from your partner for a couple of months, buy an EV, then move back in. I'm joking, not really. Anyway, the basic support amount will be 3,000 euros. And apparently this money will increase depending on how much you make. So if you make less money, you can get up to 5,000 euros. What do you guys think about this? Personally, I'm a huge fan of EV incentives. I think it absolutely should happen. Definitely agree with it. But the only thing I would say is that internal combustion cars often are a similar price to EVs. But it's actually not that far from the truth. If you look at Europe's car market, the truth is in Germany in particular, all cars are fairly expensive. And in many cases, EVs don't really cost much money. They're a little bit more than internal combustion, but not a heap more. That said, of course, it's true that in places like Australia and in countries that are just free markets open to Chinese EVs, the price of electric cars is much lower than what the prices are in Germany. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.